So adding and subtracting polynomials, though, is going to be use vertical or horizontal. Well, we have two ways of doing it. They just told us what those are. You can go up and down format, we're going to say, and that's going to be vertical. And then they're going to have left to right format, and that's going to be called horizontal. I guess we can call this form, but in reality, this isn't too complex, I would say. And just to give examples of what that looks like, well, this is already in horizontal format, right? Because it goes left to right. So we can keep horizontal, and we're going to add it. So this will be an example I'm going to choose to do horizontally. The next one I'll do in vertical form. Okay. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to just go by their powers, combine them, right? Because they have to have the same power for you to combine them. There's an x cubed here. Is there an x cubed here on this one in parentheses? These are the two different expressions. You have this expression, 8x squared minus 2x plus 4. And then you have the other expression, negative 7x cubed plus x minus 9x squared plus 2. All right. So for this, you're going to look at the parentheses, and that'll split it up for you. And then you want to go matching between the two. Okay. So in this one, I have cube. Do I have it in this one? No. So you're just going to leave it the way it was. I'm using caret just because I can't put it to that, I can't put the 3 up here with the format that I have on this computer, unfortunately. So just pretend the caret means that it would be just like this right here. All right, plus, let's say, what's the next? We want it in standard form, right? That's what I'm going to keep it in. So I'm going to look at not the next thing in order, but the next highest degree. I'm going to go to the squared. So you have negative 9x squared, and you have 8x squared, and you're adding them. So 8 plus negative 9, or negative 9 plus 8, however you want to look at it, right? That would be, well, you know what? Actually, I want to break it down a little bit more, because right now I'm not writing everything that I'm doing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 0x to the third, right? Because this is the first one, first parentheses, and this is the second one. There wasn't one, right? 0, so it's just going to be 0. But we'll write it out like that, just to keep them separated. Okay. We'll put parentheses around that. That'll be the highest degree. Okay, what's the next highest degree? Plus, well, we had the negative 9, I just said, just so we can have everything written down, right? Show your work, that's what we always say. So I'm going to show my work. Plus the 8x squared. Okay. And just keep going in that order. Look at this one. What's the next thing we got? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we just had an x plus, well, negative 2x. So write that, negative 2x. And then the last thing, we have a number, 2 plus another number, which is positive 4. So 2 plus 4. Okay, so this is what the horizontal form would look like. You want to rewrite it, combine the two from each parentheses with the same degree. This is the third degree, third power. So we'll put those together. The second one didn't even have one, so we just put 0. And then we looked at the first, negative 9, sorry, and then negative, or positive 8. All right. So hopefully, this carrots might make it look not so nice, right? But hopefully you're following along. All right. And this is all equal to, well, now you can actually add them together. What's that? Negative 7 plus 0 stays negative 7 to the third power still. And then plus negative 9, positive 8, oops, negative 1. Do we need the 1 though? No. So we can just leave it as x to the second. All right. And then what do we have? just keep going in order. This one's done. This one's next right here. X, -2, so that becomes plus -x. And then 2 and 4, you get +6. Okay, so if you're going horizontal, just keep everything horizontal, but just reorganize it. Third powers together, second powers together, first powers together, and then numbers at the end, right? And then this would be good right here. I mean, hopefully you guys don't write it with the carrots, just write it with the 3 up here, if you can. But then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just to practice the vocab a bit more, I'm going to write what it is too. Now we have the final product here, right? This is the end result. It's nothing more you can combine. You're left with each different degrees, so you can't combine them, right? Different powers can't combine. So then you get highest degree of third, so it's cubic. And then how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4. So tetranomial. We've seen that one before. All right, I'm just doing this to reinforce your vocabulary. That's what I want to say. All right, looks nice. It's all left to right. I don't particularly like this form though, right? It's kind of annoying to keep going and rewriting it like this. So how about we just do the vertical one here? You'll see this is a lot faster to me. Okay, so you see a negative here. And everything inside is being subtracted from everything over here on the first part, which you can't see because the box is blocking it. There we go. So what I'm going to do though, is I'm just going to put minus all these below each respective degree. So in this case, for instance, you have negative 2x to the third. Or actually, we'll just put minus and then the parentheses here. And just rewrite everything here below it. Plus 4x to the second minus 3x plus 1. So remember, this minus sign has to be distributed to everything here. I'm wondering, can I change the font? Oh, no. Well, only so much I can do with this program, unfortunately. But hopefully you can write it in a way that each of these lines up a little nicer. Is there a second in the first one? No. So keep that in mind. And try and match them up as best possible. I would have tried to put this 3x below that 5x, right? Because they're the same degree to the first power. And number with number. Okay. Well, do what you can, right? Do your best. I just wrote a minus sign. I brought it down here, and I rewrote this whole thing. Okay, so now let's actually go through it and do the operation. I'll write a little lower so this box doesn't block the numbers here. So you have negative 6x, and you're subtracting what? Is there a third power? Yes, there is. It's 2x to the third. You're subtracting that. So you're already negative. You're losing even more. So you go further negative, right? You get negative 8. And then you keep the same power, though. Power doesn't change. They're both to the third power, so you keep that. So you have negative 8x to the third. All right, next thing. You have no x squared here, but you're subtracting an x squared. So now you're going to just write plus on what was it? Well, we're subtracting it, so it's going to be a negative because you're going, technically there'd be a 0x squared up here. So it'd be 0x squared minus 4x squared. So it's just going to be a negative 4x squared now, right? It'd be the same thing as if you distributed this negative into this, right? Or even up here if you did it. So negative 4x squared. All right. And then what's next? Plus. I just like to have plus signs and then put the negative afterwards. You could write this as negative 8 to x to the third minus 4x to the second if you want. It's up to you. I'm just keeping it simple, right? Keeping the plus signs just so I can keep track of where I'm at. All right. So then you want to look. First degree, is that in both of them? Yep. 5x minus negative 3x. So you're minusing a negative. So it'll be 5 plus 3x, right? So it'd be 8x. All right. And then lastly, you have negative 3 minus positive 1. So negative minus 1. All right. So it goes more negative again. Negative 4. All right. So keep in mind you could just get rid of these plus signs if you want. Be negative 8x to the third minus 4x to the second plus 8x minus 4, right? That's the same thing It's having the plus signs in front of the negative ones, right? It's the exact same thing. We knew about this before. So write it either way. It really doesn't matter as long as you're able to separate these different terms, right? Because then it'll be easier to write what it is. And what is this? How many terms? And then what's the highest degree? Well, highest degree, we want to write first usually. So it's to the third, so it's cubic again. Then how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 different terms. So it's also a cubic tetranomial. It's the same thing, actually. Funny how that worked out, right? Okay, so that's the two formats. I would really recommend this format down here. It's a lot easier than rewriting it, right? With the terms um, next to each other with the same degree. Third powers have to be together. Second powers have to be together. First powers, numbers, right? It's easier just to line them up and just go straight down, right? That's what we're used to doing anyways. So I'd recommend this, but either way, you can really do it. Okay, that was all the notes for 10.1. If you guys are confused on anything, let me know. Um, Otherwise, I look forward to doing the 10.2 video, and I'll share that with you as soon as I can get that done. All right, have a good one.